applications for a special one-day malt beverage and wine only, starting with Robert Nister of The Space at 150 Western Ave, Mill B, Unit 5A. Request for 2 one-day licenses, Saturday, October 16th, 2010, from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. The event is a comedy night. The second one being for Friday, October 22nd, from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. The event is a concert. Also, Corey Belanger of Major's Pub for an enclosed area on the public way in front of 34 Jackson Street for Saturday, October 30th, 2010, from 8 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. The event is in celebration of the Halloween, as well as he has a scheduled activity for Wednesday, November 24th, from 8 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. This is in conjunction with the evening of before Thanksgiving, at the also to be in an enclosed area on the public way in front of 34 Jackson.
Introduce yourself for the record, please.
Is it from The Space?
Corey Belanger, Major's Pub.
Okay. Mr. Nister, what is your position? Is it a,
I'm the owner,
you're the owner of the whole building?
well, of that space, yeah.
Of that particular part of the building?
Yep,
Okay. Now, as I understand it, they have some families living in there now?
no,
There's no families,
no,
no kids?
still, nah,
Still just artist people and,
exactly.
you know,
That's still about 2 years away, that.
okay, all right. Have you ever done something like this?
Oh, yeah.
You've done this before? Okay. All right. Corey, I presume you got your street closing and, and all the rest. Okay, you've both done this. You know, you've both been here before. We've never had any problems. I don't foresee a problem.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes. Yes. Good luck. I hope you get great weather. How did that lobster go, by the way? Very good. Did he bring it in and show it to you? Oh, you were with him? Now, where is it now?
It is in the Seabrook Cooperative, and next is Discovery Channel is going to be on next conference.
Really? You gotta call somebody and let the paper know when it's gonna be on so they could, you know, publicize it. Now, is that considered an albino?
No, it's called a calico lobster.
Calico.
It's more yellowish than anything else. We didn't know what to make of it. We caught it in the middle of the day, and we just put it in the tank with the others and kept going. We didn't know what we had.
Wow. 1 in 5 million. Next on the agenda.
Commission will now
I
take
would
up,
wanna know what it tasted like.
Commission will now take up matters to do with special event permit for sound amplification for an event at the Song Center at UMass Lowell. Kyle Swartz, the representative, for an outdoor area north side of the Song Center at 300 Martin Luther King Jr. Way for Friday, October 8th, from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. A sound system for Prospect Hill and Kevin Lawrenceville. Also, Corey Belanger in regards to CBA Enterprises, Inc., for an enclosed area on the public way in front of 34 Jackson Street. Sound system for live music and disc jockey or disc jockey for Saturday, October 30th, from 8 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's Halloween event. Also Wednesday, November 24th, from 8 p.m. to 12 midnight for the Thanksgiving Eve event.
Introduce yourself for the record.
Kyle Swartz, Songa Center.
Corey Belanger, Major's Pub.
Okay. We call a sound we call a sound amplification a common sense license. If you walk 4 blocks away and you can still hear the music like you're standing there, you know, and I know that both of you have done things out, and I'm not worried, 3 to 7, anybody's sleeping, too bad. They should be woken up. But the point being is that, you know, common sense dictates the sound. Okay, guys?
Yeah, this is on the other grassy area.
Take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, all in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Next on the agenda.
Thank you.
Commission will now open a hearing on allegations of misconduct as charged by Deborah Fiddle of the Deputy Superintendent of Police against the AMAA Restaurant LLC, the AMAA Asian Fusion Restaurant, all alcoholic beverage restaurant licensee at 602, 608 Merrimack Street.
Introduce yourself for the record.
Craig Stelmach, counsel. Tuvu,
Okay.
Thu, I'm the manager.
and the owner.
Okay. Have you read the complaint?
I have.
Do you want it read into the record?
It's not
Not
necessary.
necessary, okay. Captain Webb, you want to just explain the basic complaint for the listening audience? Is the police officer here that was involved in it?
Yes, he is.
Good, okay. Just go ahead and just explain the basic, and then we'll go on.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, on July 23rd of this year, Sergeant O'Neill was working a paid private detail at the restaurant. He spoke to the owner, Mr. Vu. Mr. Vu told the sergeant that females over the age of 18 would be allowed in, but that males had to be over the age of 21 to be allowed in. Sergeant O'Neill informed Mr. Vu that he was not allowed to do that and advised him not to have such a policy. Sergeant O'Neill also received a printed card that advertised Tipsy Fridays every Friday at the club, and the card also said ladies 18 plus and fellows 21 plus on the card, and I think you have a copy of that card. There was also a discussion between the sergeant and Mr. Vu about who was responsible for that policy, whether it was Mr. Vu or the promoter, and the sergeant informed Mr. Vu that he was responsible as the licensee. And during the course of the night, Sergeant O'Neill observed that the employees of the club, in fact, did admit women over the age of 19, but did not denied entry to males under the age of 21. Sergeant O'Neill is here to testify if you'd like.
Okay. Thank you. Sergeant O'Neill, if you'd step up, please, and in your own words.
What the captain said, I was there working the detail. I was informed that they were letting people in, females 19 and over in. They advertised 18 and over, males 21 and over. I spoke to Mr. Vu, who informed me that there would be 19 and over. He told me that it was the promoter's idea and it was his party, and I informed him and his wife that him being the owner was responsible for the liquor license. They did let people in the club, 18 and over. They did give them a wristband so that they didn't drink, and they didn't allow males under 21 in.
Did they continue that after you explained it to them?
They did. There was a discussion between him and his wife, and Mr. Vu actually told her that he would shut it down, and a little argument between the two of them, they continued with the party. The night
But they kept,
proceeded. They continued, that's correct. They actually allowed a lot more people in after the conversation. He had the opportunity to change it at that point, but as he said, it wasn't him, it was the promoted Jay Smooth.
I just, okay. All right, thank you very much. You guys have any questions
Not for the officer, no.
for the officer?
No.
No, okay. Counselor?
This incident unfortunately did occur, and I think it was a simple misunderstanding. Mr. Vu was in control of the premises at all times. He recognizes his duties and obligations with respect to the license, serving of food at that establishment. In this instance, I think he relied on the promoter a little too much. As I called Mr. Wynn, and it was basically Mr. Vu did not call me about this as he normally would when he started this. We've since, after that time, after this was brought to Mr. Vu's attention, it has not occurred again. And he has also, he's no longer even using that particular promoter. But I did counsel Mr. Vu on the fact that it is not the promoter who's going to be the one ultimately responsible for any actions that occur in the club. The promoter's going to basically, wipe his hands of anything that occurs at that club. And Mr. Vu does understand that. But unfortunately, we acknowledge that the incident did occur, and I just wish that he would have called me that evening and ran it by me, as he normally does.
Well, it bothers me that he did it, okay? It doesn't bother me that, he had a promoter and whatnot, in the sense that I can't for the love of might understand. We've had a number of managers in here recently that come in and give us the same story. Oh, this was the promoter. And it's mind-boggling to me that, people would put their entire living at risk in some guy's hands. Is the promoter here today? I don't think so. Well, he's not here, right? He's not paying for your services, is he?
Of course.
No, okay? There's no going back to him. What really bothers me, and it really ticks me off about this case, is a sworn police officer that he hired to help him with his place of business, told him that it was illegal to do this. At that point, it should have stopped. At that point, it just should have stopped. And no argument between my wife and I, or my brother and I, or my promoter, or whatever. This is a police officer who's here to help me, and he's telling me that we're violating the law. And I would probably venture to say, I could be wrong, I can't speak for him, but I would venture to say that had he stopped, he probably wouldn't have gotten written up. He would have just, said, he made the guy made a mistake. But he continued to do it. And I think you need to give this gentleman a serious talk on the authority of a police officer. That to me is very disturbing that, he paid good money to have a police officer there. The police officer tried to advise him, to tell him he was doing something wrong, and yet he still did it. He still went ahead and did it. It just doesn't make sense. That's the one thing about it that really bothers me.
One point to that is, this was the first particular night that they were having this type of a promotional, a promoter in the particular bar area. And I think it was Mr. Vu and his wife were nervous as to how it was going to go off, particularly given that there were issues with Mango Tango in the past when they were doing this type of event. And I think it might have just been preparing, and it was just it was a bad decision on his part. And we acknowledge that. We're not here to say that we didn't, but we do want the commission to know that it hasn't happened again. I've sat down with Mr. Vu 2 times on this, and since that time, everything, he's much more, much better communication with respect to any of the flyers that he's putting out. He's got a new sign out there. He does have police detail there. And he hasn't had an incident at that restaurant similar to what Mango Tango was having since, it's been over a year now since we've been before this commission. He has done a good job of running the restaurant. He's there all the time, him and his wife, working hard. And if he would have called me, I certainly would have told him to shut it down. And I did spend a good amount of time, and we went through the complaint and we went through the regulations. And the main thing I wanted to impress upon him was just simply that he is responsible for the license and anything that goes on in there, and he accepts that, understands that, and we're hoping that we're shown leniency for this isolated incident.
I don't have any.
No, I mean, my concern is, I'm saying it again, this is how many weeks in a row that we've been in here and everybody says, oh, it's the promoter's event. All right, it's not the promoter's event. I don't want to hear that it's a promoter. The promoter is your employee. He doesn't run the business, he doesn't make the decisions, and you had a police officer tell you not to do it, and you did it anyway. What if he told you don't serve people under 21, don't sell cocaine, and you did it anyway? What's he standing there for, telling you not to do it, and you do it anyway?
May I say?
Please, why don't you step up to the mic?
With all respect to my counsel here, I would like to say it in my own word. I always in front of my restaurant when I have the event. That was a very first week, and I recall, I swear to God, that Mr. O'Neill did not say that to me. The person who gave me the clap on the street is my landlord and my fan. They also in the law enforcement. They said, that can get you in trouble. As soon as the next week, that flyer gone. I don't do that no more. I always in front of my restaurant when the event there. I always there. So I am say sorry if my wife hear what he said. My wife language is limited, but she did worry a lot when the officer mentioned about what happened when Mango Tango were there. He really scared my wife a lot. She said, you have to listen to the officer. But I did not heard he said anything about the 18 blood. And he did come back in August. That means after the day he worked there, a month, and brought that up. That shocked me a lot. So I have to consult my counsel. That's all I want to say.
What do you want to do? Place it on file?
Whatever you guys want.
What? I don't know.
Wait a minute. The matter to do with the El Rincon in regards to the promotion, if that be the case, there was well, there were two instances. You have two complaints against the El Rincon, and the first being that there was a promotion that apparently, with the concert that had been canceled at the Song Center, the Drake concert, and then there was the issue with regard to the free drink. If you had a group of 10 or more people, there was a free drink. So the first one is because in regards to the disturbance as in result of that promotion, that was just placed on file. There was the allegation being was whether there was a underage people being served in there. There was known that there were underage people in there, but there was no definitive way of determining if the underage people had been served by the licensee. And then there was the issue regarding the promotion with regards to the drink. That was 3 days suspension, held in abeyance, I should say, for 6 months.
I'll make a motion for the same thing, 3 days held in abeyance for 6 months. I don't want to hear that it's a promoter. That's not an excuse.
Are we gonna go, well, you get a second?
No.
No? I don't think it deserves a second either, to be honest with you.
I'll make a motion to put it on file.
I'll second the motion to put it on file.
Vote. Commissioner Ocasio?
Yes.
Yeah.
Commissioner Bayless?
Yes.
Commissioner Weicker?
No.
Okay, it's on file.
Right.
We don't want to see you again. Okay, the most important thing here is the most important thing, it's all well fine for you to tell him that he's responsible and everything. More important than that is, he has to know that when a uniformed officer speaks, he listens. I don't care if your wife's there, your mother's there, your aunt, your uncle, it makes no difference. The police officer's there, not just for the glory of being there, but he's there to protect you, to help you. Okay?
Understood.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you very much, sir.
I'm going to write down my office address. This is where the company I'm counsel for. But all the contact details on the front are fine. Thank you.
Okay. We ready? Next on the agenda. Next on the agenda.
There had been scheduled a hearing for allegation of misconduct as charged by Deborah Friedel, Deputy Superintendent of Police, against the Middle Street Village Inc., doing business as the Village Smokehouse, Ellen F. Kaplan manager, all alcoholic beverages restaurant licensee at 9298 Middle Street. Members of the commission, I was called by attorney Robert Allen late yesterday afternoon, asking if there could be a continuance on this matter of the hearing against the Middle Street Village Inc. I advised Attorney Allen of the circumstances where the License Commission anticipates a request for continuance not less than 4 days prior to the date of the hearing. Attorney Allen was very apologetic about the circumstances of which he found himself involved with, and that is that he had a matter pending that was turn of events for his scheduling, in which he would find himself in having to be almost in 2 places at one time. So I advised him to forward a communication in which his office he did and signed, and requesting the continuance in writing. I immediately, as soon as I received that communication, I contacted Captain Webb of the Lowell Police Criminal Division in regards to this matter and whether the officer was scheduled to testify on behalf of the Deputy Superintendent could be advised of the circumstances and whether that officer would be advised not to appear at the hearing, and that way save the department from having to pay the officer for a scheduled, I guess you might say, a court appearance, if you will. Fortunately, the circumstances are such that the officer was advised by Captain Webb of the change, and as I understand from what Captain Webb indicated to me earlier this afternoon, that the officer would not be coming to the meeting, and I contacted Attorney Allen and told him that the matter could be continued as he requested in his letter for the October 21st. Of course, the board has to confirm that or adopt that as their...
So moved.
Second.
I just would like to point out, I mean, especially being an attorney, I understand that schedules are very fluid and but this particular attorney has 3 separate attorneys working for him in addition, and to just get it at the last minute, I think is a little discourteous on his part, but, I mean, there's nothing we can do about it now, so.
When we send them out, do we notify, when you send the complaint out, do you notify them at the time that you send the complaint out that should they want to reschedule, they have to notify us in advance?
In fact, I can read to you exactly what states in every notice of hearing, and it's stated at the very end of the notice, in which, first and foremost, you have the right, you advise that you have the right to be represented by legal counsel at said hearing, and the License Commission requires that a request for a continuance shall be conveyed in writing to the licensing board not less than 4 days prior to the hearing. This will allow for proper notice to individuals scheduled to testify. In this particular situation, with regards to the Middle Street Village, the notice was mailed on September 15th by First Class Postal Service, as well as by certified mail return receipt request. I have yet to receive the green card on the return receipt regarding that notice, but the attorney apparently informed me in conversation that he had been reproached by his client, and apparently the individuals are friends of his, to handle the matter on Friday of last week. However, because of a situation in regards to a matter of a planning board issue that he had to represent or be present for 5 o'clock this afternoon in Brookline, he then contacted the office yesterday afternoon to see if he could get this matter continued to the meeting of October 21st, knowing that we have that the licensee is scheduled to appear before the board on the 21st of October on another complaint that's been filed by the superintendent of police. So he thought he could move both hearings at to the same date. I told Attorney Allen in so many words that it was not in compliance with what the License Commission expects of a request for a continuance. I told him that the circumstances are such that officers who are scheduled to testify are being paid to be here at the meetings, and if the circumstances are such that the officer cannot be properly notified in a timely manner, whatever that entails, contractually or whatever, I'm not privy to that situation. I pointed that out to Attorney Allen. Attorney Allen recognized the situation, but obviously his interest came first. And so, with all due respect to Attorney Cajun, he also, Commissioner Cajun, and he also invented some courtesy on his behalf. And so, it's, it's like, yeah, it's kind of like one of those deals. Like, I'm an attorney, I request a continuance. It's standard operating procedure for an attorney to be given a continuance. That was the attitude I was getting.
Okay, let's move on to the next on the agenda, because I'll say something that I probably shouldn't say before they appear before us.
So that's why Captain Webb is kind enough to go out of his way, I'm sure, to get the...
But he had it last Friday, he had more than 4 days.
But his matter to do with the planning board was not an issue at that time. It wasn't an issue.
Are we at the no harm, no foul stage yet?
Okay,
We'll see
let's
him on the
go.
21st.
Next on the, yes,
I'm just, you still haven't actually voted on the continuance.
We'll make a motion.
You made a
to
motion,
approve the-
and it was seconded, there has not been a vote
Oh.
to accept the continuance.
Oh.
I just
Favor.
wanted-
all in
Yes,
favor,
yes.
yes. Okay, we're all in favor, all favoring of all of us.
All of us. It's
Get the next
unanimous.
thing.
Commission will now take up the matter to do with the hearing on allegation of misconduct discharged by Kenneth E. LaValle, Superintendent of Police, against Sean Ganem, doing business as 7-Eleven store, a malt beverage and wine only package store licensee at 55 Chelmsford Street.
Hi, introduce yourself for the record.
Sean Ganem, licensee at 55 Chelmsford Street, Lowell.
Okay, have you read the complaint?
Yes, I have.
Do you want it read into the record?
I understand all of it.
Okay. Captain Webb, can you just give a brief overview of the complaint, please?
Mr. Chairman, on September 2nd of this year, detectives assigned in the Lowell Police Special Investigations Section under the command of Sergeant Noon were conducting compliance checks at various bars, restaurants, and package stores in the city. An 18-year-old male was assisting the detectives with the compliance checks, and that male did not carry any identification with him. At 7:43 p.m. on that date, the male went into the 7-Eleven store at 55 Chelmsford Street, purchased a 6-pack of Budweiser beer from the sales clerk, and was not asked for identification. The male then left the store and reported the transaction to Sergeant Noon and Detective Callahan. Detective Callahan then entered the store and identified the clerk as Sharif Khalil. Mr. Khalil was informed of the violation.
Okay. So it was a sting out. Do you have a picture of the
I think Sergeant Noon has that with him.
Do you still have, just,
yeah.
is there still a police office in the 7-Eleven?
Substation, yeah.
Substation in the 7-Eleven?
Yes.
Yes. Interesting.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the camera wasn't working that night in the precinct, but I did take a copy of his license, the individual's license that we used.
No, I'm talking of the person that you used on the sting.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't have a photo, but he's got a copy of his driver's license.
Okay.
Actually.
That's an accurate
Thank
reflection
you.
of how he looked that night.
Yeah, the only thing is, when was that picture taken?
What?
When was the picture taken?
When was it taken? It would have been taken on his birthday, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably his 16th
Let's see.
birthday.
10/7/2009. He's under 18 until, so it was taken prior to 2000, and it was taken prior to last year. So,
So, I mean, the pictures, I mean, I,
What? Go ahead.
no, I mean, I just think when the Lowell Police Department is conducting stings, they have to be within the guidelines, and I just don't think that that's within the guidelines. You know, as a business owner in the city, I would want it done correctly.
Yeah, but you don't think that's 21?
I
He
have
looks
no
like a
doubt
kid.
that picture is a kid, I agree, but that picture is at least a year old, and it's not taken on the day of the sting operation. He may look the exact same now. I'm just saying, in terms of procedure, I would think that you would want a picture, and he said the camera was broken, then maybe the sting shouldn't go forward. That's all. That's just my venting, my 2 cents on it.
No, I mean, yeah.
If you're gonna do something, it should be within the guidelines of what, what needs to be done to conduct a proper sting.
Officer, why don't you tell us what happened? So,
Yeah, why don't you step,
Mr. Ganem, why don't you let him have the microphone?
tell us what happened in your own words.
With the sting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, on that evening, we're conducting compliance checks at, I believe we visited approximately 30 establishments that night that served alcohol. On that evening, we had a 18-year-old student from UMass Lowell posing as a customer, and he was with me in a unmarked vehicle. I had two detectives working with me who were radio contact with me at all times. We visited these different locations. At approximately 7:43, we pulled up to the 7-Eleven. The individual got out, the 18-year-old. He was provided money by me from the funds from the Vice unit. He approached the store. I was able to watch him enter the store. He brought a six-pack of Budweiser beer to the register. He was not asked for an identification. He was sold a six-pack of beer and he returned to the vehicle in the parking lot. At that time, I radioed Detective Downs and Detective Callahan, who went into the store to identify the clerk. And at that time, the clerk was identified as Sharif Khalil, and he was informed that he had sold to a underage individual.
Okay, any questions? Any questions?
No.
Thank you.
I mean, just,
Jack?
that's not the 7-Eleven, my recollection, from the parking lot, you can see everything that goes on inside there because it's all glass fronted,
Yes,
right?
it's very,
So
there's
it's
an
not-
excellent view inside the store.
And the registers are right in front of the glass doors, so and there's nothing there's no hidden transactions taking place, right?
Absolutely. I said I was in a position to view the transaction from where I was parked. And I just want to add to the record that prior to the 18-year-old individual working that night, he was advised of the guidelines by a form. I read the form to him. He also read the form. He signed the form and agreed to comply with the guidelines. And he also signed a release for the city of Lowell acknowledging that he was working for us that night.
Okay, I don't have anything.
How many places did you go that night?
That night, sir, we went to 30 different establishments.
And how many failed?
Two.
Two. It's good enough for me, I'll tell you. That's good enough for me. Okay, it's your turn.
Thank you.
Were you there working that night?
No, I wasn't.
Who was?
I had two employees working, two clerks.
Where are they?
Sharif, that allegedly sold the beer to the underage sting operation. He traveled today. He traveled overseas. He had traveled this morning. He had plans before. His wife had a baby last month, and he couldn't travel, so he had plans. But his name wasn't included to appear today. That's why I didn't let him cancel his trip to attend.
Well, I mean, I can appreciate Commissioner Occasion's, the picture, that particular picture looks like he's like 16 years old. I mean, he looked very, very young in that picture. But I don't think the picture is 30-some places they went, and only two failed, and you were one of them.
Yes.
Obviously, something's wrong. And the thing's wrong is that, you don't sell booze without seeing an ID. It's that simple. There are package stores here in the city that have 4x4 signs on the door, no ID, no service. Everybody, I had a fellow working for me today, he's 55 years old. He went to buy a six-pack of beer the other night on the way home. They asked him for his ID. He couldn't believe the guy wanted to see an ID. And I said, we're trying to get everybody in the city of Lowell to be smart enough to ask for an ID, 6 to 60. Doesn't make any difference. If they come in a wheelbarrow, you got to have an ID or you don't get service. You risk your whole reputation. And you're in a different ball league because now you're selling alcoholic beverages and you've got your grocery store. Okay?
Yeah.
And so you got a kind of a mixed bag, if you will. So you got to be doubly vigilant and watching what's going on. Because you got people coming in and buying stuff And, you know, I don't know.
No, I mean, I don't think there's any question that the kid's under 18.
Yeah.
I'm just,
He turned,
I'm not.
He's actually turning 19
Yeah,
this week for
just
his
right.
birthday.
figured out it's 19.
Well, that's what I said, yeah.
We're gonna get him a
So
birthday
it's a,
cake.
it's a 3-year-old picture, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just, in the future, I just wish the police department would be.
All employees
But,
were.
but in terms of you sold to an underage kid, whether the picture's
Yeah.
correct or not.
Yes.
And you
the
sold
employee,
because it was
yeah.
stupidity. You didn't
And it's-
ask for an ID.
I mean, obviously-
And if these people work for you, they work for you. You set the standard.
All right,
You
Chairman.
should send people into your own store and
I'm gonna speak in his defense here, only because I've shopped at your store, and I've actually seen your employees card people for cigarettes.
Yes.
I've never actually seen anybody purchase alcohol there, but I have seen people purchase cigarettes, and I've seen them get carded. So that policy needs to get carried over. If they're carding for cigarettes, I mean, it just gotta get drilled in. I mean, I don't think that you guys were out there trying to sell to minors in front of big glass doors that are visible across the street. I mean, I don't think that, you know, this was some backroom type of deal.
Yes, this was a lapse
This was
of
just-
judgment from.
I think somebody got
this
lazy.
employee.
Yeah.
I signed up for a company that does unannounced stings, and before we got the license, and after they do it about once a week, and they give you a green pass or a red fail if you fail. So we always get a green. But this time I don't know what happened with him. I talked to him, and after this I implemented a plan to corrective action after this too. And I ordered some ID tech for fake IDs as well for that. So I talked to him. It's just, I don't know. It was lapse of judgment on his part, and that's all he could explain why he did this.
How long have you been using that company that does the checks?
This company is available through 7-Eleven. We've been using it for a couple of years now. We pay a monthly fee. But right after this, I ordered double that the unannounced stings. So they would come twice a week instead of once a week.
Any questions? What do you want to do? Place it on file?
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to place it on file.
Motion made,
Seconded.
seconded, all in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't let it happen again.
Okay, I will.
We'll see you back here.
Thanks a lot, appreciate it.
Yep.
Next on the agenda. Who's this one?
Scott's Food Mart. That's the one on Middlesex Street, the one Kazanjan owns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Commission will now open a hearing on allegation of misconduct discharged by Kenneth LaValle, Superintendent of Police, against Scott's Food Mart, Inc., David P. Gray, Manager, malt beverage and wine only package store licensee at 1460 Middlesex Street.
Introduce yourself for the record.
David Gray, Manager, Scott's Food Mart Incorporated.
Have you read the complaint?
Yes.
Were you at the store when this happened?
No, I wasn't.
You weren't, okay? I presume this was the same date, the same night?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I won't make you do it again then. What happened?
It was one of our employees, a younger kid, 21 years old. He's been there for about 6-7 months. He's said it was busy. We have a zero tolerance policy there that we have in place. When we were made aware of it, that it did happen, he was immediately fired. We got rid of him. We've put some procedures into place, since then to add to what we have in place now. And we do take it very seriously, especially our proximity to the university.
You're in a tough situation, that's right, you're right at the bottom there, right at the...
And they're all, the employees, they're made aware of it. They're told, you pound it into them, and then, something like this happens, and you're not there, and you're at their mercy, but they all understand it's a zero tolerance policy. Since this happened, we've actually made them sign a zero tolerance policy, so that, we're not just verbally saying it to them, they understand.
Well, and some signs don't hurt.
Yeah.
You must,
We actually have a prompt on the register now that if it's an alcoholic beverage, comes up on the screen and to enter in a birth date for it, so they know that they're supposed to be carded.
well, you realize you're responsible.
Yes.
You weren't there, but you're responsible. And, this company that this gentleman talked about, you might want to think about that. There are companies that, and I don't think the money is ridiculous either. I really don't know what they charge, but I would definitely, but they actually send people in
Excuse me.
to try to buy from your employees.
Yeah.
And you pay a fee to have it done. And, it just keeps everybody on their toes. Because what happens is we become familiar with our customers. And then all of a sudden, they say everybody has a twin. Some of us, we hope there isn't a twin, but they say everybody does have one. So if somebody walks in the store and they see him, then they don't stop and think,
Yeah.
And you're right in the heart of the
Yeah, right.
campus and everything. I mean, I'm sure you probably get quite a few, students. I think you accept student cards, don't you?
Yes, so we
Yeah.
get them all the
So,
time, and
that's all the more reason for them coming into your store. And I imagine they spend money, but then on the other hand, I would ask myself, is it worth that risk? And I'm sure it probably is.
No, it's like you say, the 6 to 60, they're supposed to card everybody, so it's...
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll make a motion to put it on file.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't want to see you again. Thank you. Thank you.
And just quickly, on the backside of our agenda is an application that was filed on behalf of KJAL Corp., Meena Patel, President, for the transfer of the all alcoholic beverages package store license granted and issued for 2010 to PNC Liquors, Inc., DBA Conlon's Liquors, Caesar P. Correa, manager, premises at 12 Bridge Street. To transfer that license and also to change the location of that license to, which is now known as 590 Westford Street. I asked the commission to review the application. It's quite involved. I pointed out some issues that I think the applicant's attorney needs to possibly look at again, and for the board to offer some recommendation, if be the case, for our next meeting, if that be okay, for October 21st, if not thereafter. Also, there's communication from Thomas McKay, the Executive Director of Mill City Management at Lowell Memorial Auditorium. A license for a concert had been approved on September 9th for a group known as Four Troops. That concert, which was scheduled for October 28th, has been canceled, and Mill City Management is asking that the license fee paid be credited to an upcoming event that they have scheduled for the month of November or December.
Make a motion to.
I'll second.
All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yep. That's it?
That's all.
Anything, Captain?
No, nothing this week.
Okay, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make it.
Motion to adjourn, seconded?
Seconded.
Seconded. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Coming home, Benjamin. Benjamin's at the house today.